Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I know you are too because you're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Manifested Magic, the practical way. And while I am not very much so a practical girl, I have a lot of practicalities that I have accepted about the natural world, about the physical world. And I've accepted that you do have to have some practicalities in place. It is magical, but there are some pieces that need to be in place, right? So like you can try to manifest magical health and all that, but the practical part is you're going to have to eat right. You're going to have to exercise. You're going to have to drink some water. You can't just have it, right? So everything works like that. You got to do these little things, right? But I am definitely of the mindset, too much practicality spoils a dream. For me, it becomes unfun when I start putting all these parameters around. It has to come like this. It has to look like this. It has to come 3 to 4 years in this plan, blah, blah, blah. That's when I'm lost. I'm like, no, no. My head started hurting just now when I was pretending to make that structured of a lifestyle plan. But nonetheless, that's just who I am. And I'm okay with that. I love it actually, because it's made a very fun life for myself. And I've gotten exactly what I've chosen to get out of most in every situation that I've been involved in. So nonetheless, this is what I'm talking about today. Expansion, right? I'm pulling cards from my beautiful little deck today, the intention table, the intention deck. I mentioned it several times in other videos, right? It's from this website called the Intention Table. And on the back of the cards, it says, mindfully set your intention. And I pull one every week. I used to, it's like 52 cards. Anyway, what I pulled for this particular video is expand, right? I'm not a tarot card reader, but I was just going through the cards thinking, oh, this is how that feels. Playing the little cards and telling people today will be. So anyway, I think you can plan more of the life. I think you can create. I'll say that part. You can create more of the life that you choose, definitely. When you have less plans attached to it. That's just the way I feel about the world. Anyway, expand, right? So when you're in a space where everything has gotten kind of normal and you become accustomed to it, it's so funny. Being in that space, it doesn't take very long to feel that way. So like you can have a really good position at a workplace. You can have a really good job. You can be getting paid really good money. You can be in all those wonderful places that everybody says, this is an amazing life. You should, this is great. And if you get used to that, like it takes like a couple of weeks for you to feel like you're bored with it. I'm not even kidding you. This is a lot of people. This is not just me. And you just like, okay, something must be wrong with me because I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. I have him, I have her, I have my children, but somehow I feel like a strong desire to expand myself, right? I know I was called to talk about this. I know this is heavy on my mind and it's on my mind too. But I also feel like whenever you find these videos or you tap into it or it's just the one that gets your attention or whatever, that is the one that resonates, that's going to resonate with you, right? So I know that anybody who's watching this video, you're at a place in your life where you're looking to expand to some degree. It may not be in every aspect of your life, but you're looking for expansion. You're looking for ascension. So something you have to understand about expansion is that it is very hard for it to happen in a current circumstance. What's that Bible verse that people always talk about, trying to put new wine into old wine skins or something? I remember back in the day, I used to listen to T.D. Jakes all the time, and he'd be like, give me a new mind, right? That was one of his messages. I remember when I lived in Dallas, I would go to the Potter's house every now and then, right? Because I do like a little spiritual environment sometimes, but I don't need it, it's not something I need all the time. But I would go in there and, it would be like a really good message all the time. And it's like, give me a new mind. And I think about that. And I think about how so often we're trying to expand in the exact same circumstances that caused us to want to expand. And tell me how does that make sense? It just doesn't. Like we want to keep the same 5 friends that we've been having since college while we want to grow and develop and expand ourselves to another level. Now, we already know that it's different when everybody's growing with you, when everybody's expanding with you, when everybody's evolving and changing with you. But if you get to a place where you just happen to be tapped a little bit quicker, or you get tapped a little bit sooner, you get tapped, a little bit quicker than the people around you, you find yourself in a position to where you just like, I just don't see how they can't see that it is time to expand, that it's time to leap, that it's time to do these things that you want to create. Like, that is my mindset now. So you may be at a point, because I've been coming in contact with quite a few people that have been really frustrated. And I was at work yesterday, and I noticed this, the director of all of the information technology for the school, she was extremely frustrated. One of the managers that work with her were frustrated. The people, I've been sensing a lot of a frustration energy wandering around, right? And the frustration is trying to create something new while you are still attached to an old culture or an old mindset or an old way of programming. So think about if you're in the workspace and like you have a culture of real lackadaisical, people come into work when they feel like it. If nobody's at the front counter, nobody says anything. And then it kind of turned into a domino effect, and then it became a thing. And so now your establishment is being looked at as poor quality, as not being looked at as, good on customer service, delivering on what they said that they can bring to you. What are the 3 tenets of business? High quality, best price, convenience. Those are the 3 things people are looking for. Best price, best quality, convenient. And if they don't have if you get into this space and these people start to see your establishment as not being of that high quality, then your frustration shows up, because you know that your culture or your programming is out of hand and it's not working for the goal that you have. But at the same time, you don't know how to necessarily revamp and create a new in the same circumstance that you're in, right? So this is a lot of dealing with perspective too, because if you're in a workspace or at a job and all, and you're just like, this place sucks. I don't want to be here. I hate coming here every morning. I don't want to trick myself into believing that it's the best thing since sliced bread. I want to be honest with myself. This place sucks. I've been at places and I've been thinking that. I'm just like, this place sucks. And so you're sitting there, and one of the hardest things that I have always found to do is to try to recreate a new mindset and a new way of being and thinking while still staying in that same position. Because almost every single time when that new mindset hit, or that mind shift happened, or that expansion hit me, I was getting a phone call from someone else saying, we have this opportunity. I would get an intuition or an inkling to turn down a street and ask a question and talk to a person who opens the next door. It's always those things. So while we're just like, oh, I want the new thing, but I don't want to lose the old thing, the universe is going to sort all of that out, and you won't be able to run from the results. And the only way to run from the results of where you're expanding and what needs to fall off and what needs to come into your life is to deny yourself of the thoughts of that, something that you want to experience or expand to. It's like telling yourself, oh, it's not very important to me. I don't want it anyway. Now, I was able to do that with quite a few things when I was raising my daughters, like in the thick of it, when they needed, children are mostly rough when you have to watch them and you got to make money for them at the same time. So I nook and crannied myself into positions to where I could drag my children to work if I needed to. And they were with me for the whole decade of their childhood, 1 through 10. They were always in the back of a classroom with me somewhere, sitting in a chair in an office. Matter of fact, I had a kid with me on Tuesday sitting at my desk, sleeping with bad allergies, who wasn't at school. So the work never ends, right? So you find yourself in these situations where you are like always putting the work out there, doing the work, getting the work, doing these things and trying to make this expansion happen. And then you find yourself in a place to where you're frustrated because you can't change the situation immediately, right? And there are ways that you could change it immediately, but it makes it to where that expansion pulls you away from the old thing that you created. And you have to decide which of this is more important to me. Is the expansion going to be more important to me, or am I going to pretend like and tuck myself back in and say, oh no. Yeah, because I was saying that when I was raising my daughters, I told myself a lot of things I didn't care about, but I made a compromise with myself because I knew what was more important. I was like, I don't care about having this. I don't care about having that. I don't care about having cable. I was like bare minimum, straight to the point, keep the children happy, make sure they have everything they need, live a good life, homeschool, have a low maintenance environment, drive very little because driving around is a lot of trouble too, and keep everything small. So a lot of reason why I homeschooled is because I wanted everything to be accessible and right around me, because when you're raising children, it can be that way a lot, right? And so being in those environments and having that mindset of trying to create something in that space, your frustration genuinely comes from just not being able to see the new horizon while you're still holding on to the older thing, right? To try to get a bird's eye view. And you can trick yourself for a while, because I did all those years, told myself, I wasn't really tricking. I was really committed to the idea that I didn't need these things. But when you get to a certain point where you know you want to experience something, and you look at your age and you look at how long people are on this earth, you look at your health and that is in good condition, you just like, I got some things that I want to do, right? It is very, very hard to tuck that away after you've already come to the conclusion that you're ready to expand, right? That you're ready to move on to the next level. So that's my message. That is what I want to urge you to. Whenever you get the inkling and you're ready to expand, just know that you can't, it's so hard to create that new thing in the old environment. So instead of like jumping around and saying, okay, new environment, get rid of everything, get rid of everybody, blah, 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 just keep doing the work. Keep doing the expansion, keep doing the meditation, keep doing the believing, keep doing the growing, keep doing all the things that you can do in order to expand yourself while you're in that situation. And when it's time for you to go to the next level, it will knock you over. It will hit you upside the head. You won't be able to do anything else or other than whatever. This is another small story I have. I dated this guy once, and we weren't equally yoked at all. And it was perfectly fine. He was fun to hang around. And so because I wasn't doing anything, I was like, fine, 6 months is usually a max on those kind of connections. I'm like, you ain't looking for nothing long term. I can tell I'm not looking for nothing long term with you. So we can just hang out, have a good fun, whatever, go on some dates, go to some museums, go to some movies, whatever people do when they're dating. So, but as time went on, I saw some characteristics about him that I thought were very ugly. And I thought they were ugly characteristics because he didn't show them to me, but they were shown to like almost everyone else in his life. And I'm just like, well, it's only a matter of time before you're on the side of novelty to old news take you for granted. I know people like that, right? And I saw these ways about him that was poking out, and I was just like, I'm real big on knowing that people have traumas that they need to work out, but I'm not going to let you drag me down either with whatever you're dealing with. And it was getting such to a spot where it was just not a good situation. And like one day he wanted to come over, and it was like, girl, why are you still doing this? You know, you over this guy. This is not it. You need to be letting this go. This is not where you want to be. And, but I still say, sure, come over. Cause he was supposed to be like a boyfriend. I'm like, come over. So he came over, and like every bit of my body that night, every bit of my energy recoiled when he came. And I was like, it's not that he was a bad person. It's not that he did something that was so wrong and awful to me. And it's not that he was somebody that I couldn't see myself possibly making it work with. But at the end of the day, my expansion had pushed me to another level, a new space. So when he came around, it was weird. It was like an awkward person sitting in the midst. And because he was such a straight shooter, he was like, I feel weird tonight. Like, this feels awkward. It doesn't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel like it's supposed to. But his emotional intelligence wouldn't allow him to say, well, maybe we are just out of sync with each other. Maybe it's an off day or whatever. He immediately turned it into an argument and created this big distraction for himself to leave, which was perfectly fine. But there was nothing in me that wanted to say, come back, come. And after that, everything just kind of like dwindled and fell off. The text messages, and then he made one last ditch effort about a month later. And I was like, I have moved on from that. So when I say expand, I don't mean that you need to go out and just be like, I'm expanding and that person's not. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. No, the universe is going to take care of all of that. All you need to do is keep doing the growing, keep doing the expanding, keep being grateful, keep living in that space where you are competent, you believe in yourself, you trust your own intuition, you trust your ideas. And you know that your ideas are great and that they're more than enough, where you're in that space and you believe it and you love it and you're with it, right? And then everything else that's supposed to be there will show up for it. And if it's not, it'll fall off and it won't be anything you can do to change it. Not one solitary thing to do, but move on and keep expanding and allow yourself to grow. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Keep on manifesting magic. Keep on manifesting a life that you choose. That's why we're here, right? Because you know you won't have that long and then you'll be gone. Keep manifesting the life you choose. It's always going to be worth it. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it.